my beloved child. Among the countless millions of lives existing in this world, no one can replace the distinct imprint I have placed within you. You have not paused before these words to be flattered or to believe that you stand above others, but to remember a truth that difficult years have repeatedly caused you to forget. Your presence has meaning. The way you see the world, the things that move your heart, your ability to recognize pain behind another person's smile, and the way you continue to preserve hope after being wounded, all form a voice that cannot be copied. You are not a duplicate mistakenly placed into this life. I created you with your own rhythm, your own assignment, and a path that only you can walk with your own feet. Though you were once overlooked, misunderstood, or made to question your worth, what is true within you never disappeared. I know you have often felt out of place in environments that should have given you a sense of belonging. You sat among crowds and still felt as though you were standing outside an invisible door. Things others easily accepted caused you to think deeply. Shallow conversations quickly exhausted you, while questions concerning purpose, sincerity, and meaning continually stirred within you. Some called you too sensitive, too different, or too difficult to understand, causing you to reshape yourself according to their expectations. You learned to speak less, hide your dreams, and pretend to be satisfied with things that did not truly nourish you within. Yet whenever you diminished yourself, peace departed, because you were not created to live through a shortened version of yourself merely to make others comfortable. Your difference is not a throne for pride, but a responsibility you must learn to carry humbly. Every person has their own assignment, and your gift becomes valuable only when it is used to build, heal, and bring goodness. You may possess creativity, the ability to listen, perseverance, vision, or compassion that others do not immediately recognize. Yet a gift that is never developed remains only potential. Therefore, I did not merely place something precious within you, I also led you through a process so that you would learn how to use it properly. The trials that exhausted you taught you to distinguish applause from genuine respect, outwardly impressive opportunities from a suitable path, and temporary attraction from a bond strong enough to endure. You passed through things that seemed capable of extinguishing hope completely. There were times when you gave trust and received betrayal, plans that nearly reached completion before suddenly collapsing, and seasons when you had to begin again without possessing enough strength to explain yourself to anyone. You thought you were weak because the pain lasted so long, but I saw another kind of strength growing within you. It was not loud, did not need to prove itself, and did not turn you cold. It appeared each time you fell but refused to remain down. Each time you were treated unjustly but refused to answer with injustice. And each time you continued choosing what was right even when the wrong road appeared faster. This quiet endurance is part of the imprint within you that cannot be replicated. Something within you has always risen again after every attempt to bury it. When others told you to surrender, a gentle voice continued, reminding you that the story was not finished. When failure attempted to persuade you that you were incapable, a new idea appeared. A small door opened, or a little courage returned. You may call this stubbornness, but I call it the seed of purpose that remains alive. This seed does not promise that everything will be easy. It simply refuses to allow you to live forever beneath the level of truth. It prevents you from being satisfied with relationships that contain words but no respect. It prevents you from resting within work that gradually takes away your joy and dignity. It urges you to seek a life more meaningful than merely surviving until the end of each day. Even so, do not interpret every feeling of restlessness as a sign that you must change your entire life in one moment. A deep calling always walks with responsibility, discernment, and practical steps. I am not telling you to abandon everything and follow an intense emotion. I am inviting you to begin through small but truthful actions. Write down the idea you continue postponing. Develop the ability you once considered ordinary. Complete the work before you faithfully, even if it is not your final destination. Continue learning. Seek wise counsel, and allow time to test what you believe you are called to do. Mission is not recognized only through spiritual emotion. It is proven through discipline, consistency, and the way you continue when inspiration becomes quiet. I also want you to stop comparing your uniqueness with the success of others. Some people walk upon a clear road, while you must find direction through many turns. Some are seen early, while you work for a long time in silence. This does not mean you are inferior. Some seeds grow quickly but possess shallow roots, while certain trees require a long time beneath the earth before they become strong enough to withstand storms. Your path required greater discernment because what you learned will become protection when your sphere of influence expands. Had you been led into a larger place too soon, you might have allowed praise to guide you, fear of losing your position to control you, or other people to determine your value. Now you are learning to remain steady, both when you are recognized and when you are misunderstood. What I placed within you cannot be taken away by others, but you can neglect it if you continue living through fear. Each time you tell yourself you are not good enough before beginning, you lock a door from within. Each time you give people who never understood your journey the power to decide your future, you place the key into someone else's hands. You do not need everyone's agreement. Some will see only your former version and never understand why you must change. Some love you, but because of their own fears. They will advise you to choose a safer road. Listen respectfully, but do not allow another person's limitations to become a sentence upon your ability. Examine your motives. Consider the consequences, and then move courageously when truth has become clear. I, Michael, remind you that what is unique within you is not merely your talent or personality. It is also the way your experiences, wounds, lessons, and compassion have been woven into a distinct voice. No one else walked precisely the road you traveled, saw everything through your eyes, or learned the same lessons in the same way. Therefore, what you share may reach people whom another person's words cannot touch. Pain healed within you may become a place where someone else finds understanding. A failure you overcame may help someone believe they still possess the opportunity to begin again. A boundary you established courageously may teach another person that love does not mean accepting harm. When brought into the light, every part of your journey can serve something good. My child, stop apologizing for occupying rightful space. You do not need to diminish your voice so that insecure people feel safe. Nor must you speak loudly to prove that you matter. Allow the quality of your work, your sincerity, and the way you treat others to speak. Do not call yourself rare while neglecting responsibility, because difference is not proven through declarations. It is revealed through the way you keep your word when no one checks, the courage with which you admit mistakes, and your willingness to continue learning after receiving praise. The more you mature, the purer your gift becomes. It no longer serves your need for attention, but becomes a means of creating value, offering hope, and opening roads for those who come behind you. Therefore, my beloved child, do not attempt to become a perfect copy of anyone. Learn from others without losing your own voice. Honor their journey without interpreting their progress as evidence that you are delayed. What I placed within you continues unfolding through each small choice you make today. Use your abilities. Preserve purity. Care for your health. Bring order to your life. And draw near to people who help you grow. Do not wait until every fear disappears, because some doors become visible only after you begin moving. You do not need to change the entire world in one day. You need only to remain faithful to the portion of light entrusted to you and allow each day to make it brighter. You are unique, not because you were born to stand above billions of others, but because no one else can fulfill your assignment with your exact heart, experience, and voice. Stop trying to fit into places that continually require you to deny what is true. Step out of hiding, but carry humility with you. Let your difference become a bridge rather than a wall, a lamp rather than a throne. Everything you endured is being connected to prepare you for a life of greater depth. I will continue guiding you, but you must choose to respond through action. Rise, develop what has been entrusted, and live in such a way that your presence leaves peace, courage, and hope behind. Then you will understand that the most precious imprint is not being called rare, but becoming a person no one can replace in the way you love, serve, and remain faithful to the purpose placed within your life. My beloved child, do not disregard the quiet call reaching you now, because some of the greatest turning points in life do not arrive amid loud celebration. They come as gentle reminders that suddenly cause you to pause and look more deeply at what is unfolding before you. You may not yet see a clear sign, hear a complete explanation, or know what you should do next. But within you there is already a gentle prompting that this moment is not ordinary. I, Michael, want you to pay attention without panic, without rushing to attach a conclusion, and without turning away merely because you do not yet fully understand. Opportunities to love, support, and change a life do not always arrive in a dramatic form. They may be hidden within tired eyes, an unfinished sentence, prolonged silence, or a person who has suddenly become more distant than usual. If you search only for brilliant signs, you may overlook what is sacred standing directly before you in an ordinary appearance. Observe this woman with compassion, but do not violate her privacy. Listen to what she says, while also noticing what she has not yet found the courage to express. Sometimes a person smiles, not because they are at peace, but because they do not want anyone to worry. Sometimes silence is not coldness, but evidence that they are too exhausted to continue explaining. Sometimes refusing help is merely the way they protect a vulnerable place after being disappointed too many times. You do not need to decode every expression, and you must not assume that you understand everything taking place within her. What I ask of you is not speculation, but attentive presence close enough for her to know she has not been abandoned, yet respectful enough that she does not feel pressured. Do not rush into this situation with the desire to rescue everything. You were not given the responsibility to control the outcome or carry the task of changing another person. You are called only to remain faithful to the part that belongs to you. This may be a sincere question, a conversation without judgment, practical help, or simply sitting beside her without forcing her to appear well. Sometimes the greatest gift you can offer is not brilliant advice, but a sense of safety that permits someone to be honest. Do not rush to fill every silence with words. Give her time to recover her own language. Ask instead of assuming. Listen instead of immediately fixing. And promise only what you can genuinely fulfill. Concern without wisdom may unintentionally create more pressure, but compassion joined with patience can become a place of rest. You may wonder whether your presence can truly make a difference. Perhaps you believe you are not skilled enough to advise her, do not possess sufficient resources to help, or do not know the right words. But, my child, someone in pain often does not need another person to arrive with every answer. They need someone who will not leave when the conversation becomes difficult, will not use what is shared to judge them, and will not turn their pain into a story about themselves. Your presence becomes powerful when it carries sincerity, peace, and respect. A simple sentence such as, "You do not need to explain everything right now, but I am here to listen," can sometimes open a door that long speeches cannot reach. You do not need to become extraordinary. You need only to be sincere and trustworthy. Even so, you must understand your limits. If she is facing something beyond your ability to support, encourage her to seek someone with professional knowledge, a trustworthy family member, or a safe community. Love does not mean carrying every secret alone, especially when someone's safety may be threatened. Sometimes the right help is walking with them toward appropriate support, rather than trying to contain everything within one private conversation. Be humble enough to admit when you do not possess sufficient understanding. Directing her toward the right place does not make your concern less valuable. On the contrary, it shows that you place her well-being above your need to be seen as the person who solves the problem. A blessing is connected with this obedience. But do not treat goodness as an exchange through which you earn a reward. You do not help others in order to force heaven to give you what you desire. Sometimes the deepest blessing is not a visible gift, but the expansion taking place within you when you learn how to remain beside another person's pain without escaping. Your compassion matures. When you place someone's need above your convenience, you become more trustworthy. When you serve without requiring recognition, your heart becomes free from the constant need for attention. These things prepare you for greater responsibility, because someone capable of supporting others in private will know how to use influence kindly when placed where many people can see. I know that amid sincere words, you will sometimes hear voices attempting to pull you in another direction through attractive promises, roads to quick wealth, or claims designed to awaken greed and fear of missing out. Preserve discernment. Not everything clothed in mystical language carries truth, and not every promise of immediate transformation deserves your trust. Lasting goodness does not manipulate you through false urgency. Use images of luxury to cloud your judgment, or demand blind faith in methods without a sound foundation. Examine every invitation, especially when it concerns money, personal information, or claims that appear too perfect. Pure guidance brings clarity and responsibility. It does not push you into a hurried decision because you fear the opportunity will disappear. Return to what is truly before you, a human being who may need to be seen. There are moments when a life changes direction, not because a powerful figure appears, but because an ordinary person decides not to turn away. A question spoken at the right time may prevent someone from believing they are completely alone. One small act of kindness may restore a little of the trust damaged over many years. You will not always know the result of what you do. She may not open immediately, respond as you hope, or may even remain distant. Do not use her reaction as a measurement of the value of the kindness you offered. Someone who has suffered may require time to believe that your concern does not contain a hidden condition. If she is not ready to speak, respect that. You can leave a simple message saying that the door to conversation remains open. Then continue living consistently so she can see that your words were not a passing emotion. Safety is built over time. Do not ask questions that are too private, merely to satisfy curiosity. Repeat her story to others in order to gain attention, or use what she shares as a reason to enter farther into her life. Genuine love does not possess. It protects the dignity of the person being loved, even when no one knows you have done so. Michael, I am teaching you another form of courage, not the courage to enter battle with a loud cry, but the courage to remain within a fragile moment without running away. You may fear saying the wrong thing, being misunderstood, or becoming involved in something complicated because you care. Yet you do not need to know the entire journey beforehand. Begin with the smallest kind action you can perform wisely. Ask one sincere question. Invite her to have a drink. Offer practical help. Listen once without holding your phone. As you remain faithful in the small step, what must happen next will become clearer. My beloved child, do not disregard this moment, but neither should you turn it into a burden that forces you to act under tension. Let compassion guide you, discernment protect you, and peace regulate your pace. Your role is not to rewrite her entire story. You can become only one kind chapter within it. Sometimes such a chapter is enough to help someone believe their story is still worth continuing. Be present, not to receive honor, but so that someone may know that within a world that easily turns away, there is still a person who chooses to pause, see them, and treat them with dignity. This is the obedience I seek within you, and this is how light is passed onward, not through display, but through a heart willing to remain at the very moment another person needs it most. You endured wounds you did not deserve to carry, but I will not allow your story to close in disappointment concerning love. I, Michael, saw the times when you offered sincerity and received coldness. The moments when you tried to preserve a connection while the other person appeared only when it was convenient. And the nights when you wondered whether genuine love was still available to you. There were times when you nearly abandoned the belief that someone could approach with clarity, loyalty, and respect. You told yourself it would be better to remain alone than to open your heart and gather broken pieces again. Yet I never condemned you for becoming cautious. I understand that the doors within your heart closed, not because you forgot how to love, but because you had to protect yourself after your kindness was repeatedly misused. Even during periods when you believed you had been left behind, I was quietly leading you away from relationships that would only prolong your pain. There were people you begged to remain whose presence would have continued, making you question your worth and gradually lose peace. Certain doors closed and caused you to weep for a long time because you could see only what had just been lost. Not the exhausting years from which you had been rescued. You thought separation was punishment, but often it was protection. I did not keep you in a place where you had to continually prove that you deserved love. Neither did I allow you to remain dependent upon beautiful promises, unsupported by action. Because genuine love does not make a person live continually wondering whether they will be chosen today. What is being prepared will possess a very different nature from what you experienced. It will not cover wounds with intense temporary emotion or make you forget pain through sweet words, only to return you to former confusion. Lasting healing often arrives through consistency. Someone says what they genuinely intend to do, remains present when circumstances are difficult, and respects boundaries that cost you greatly to learn how to establish. They will not treat your fears as an inconvenience, nor will they exploit them in order to control you. They will understand that trust cannot be demanded. It must be built through small, sincere actions, repeated over time. As you move forward, the first change may not appear in your circumstances, but in your responses. You will realize that you are no longer drawn into the ambiguous patterns of affection that once kept you awake. Grand promises without a foundation will no longer move you easily. You will stop confusing instability with passion and stop treating the need to chase someone as evidence of deep love. What once attracted you because it felt familiar will begin losing its power because you now understand that peace is more precious than continually rising and falling emotions. This does not mean you have become cold. It is evidence that you are maturing and learning to choose what nourishes you rather than what merely stimulates your fear of abandonment. You will also begin trusting again, but not with the blindness of the past. At first, consistent kindness may feel unfamiliar. Someone who communicates clearly may make you suspicious because you became accustomed to decoding silence. When they keep their word, you may still wait for something bad to happen. When they respect your need for space, you may wonder whether they are becoming distant. This is because former experiences taught you to prepare for hurt before permitting yourself to receive joy. Be patient with yourself. You do not need to remove every layer of protection in one day. Healing does not force you to forget the past. It helps you see the present without allowing the past to determine every conclusion. The presence of the right person may reach places that advice alone never touched, but do not make them completely responsible for your recovery. They may create a safe space where you practice trust, but you must still choose to speak honestly, establish boundaries, and confront what remains unhealed. A good relationship does not rescue you from the responsibility of growth. It supports you within that responsibility. Someone who truly loves you will not attempt to become the only center of your life. They will encourage you to continue developing, maintain healthy relationships, fulfill your own purpose, and refuse to abandon your true self merely to preserve closeness. Do not resist the transition merely because it causes uncertainty. Everything new contains an unfamiliar period in which you must relearn how to be present without remaining continually defensive. You may want to withdraw when a conversation becomes deep or search for flaws merely to prove that everything will eventually become like the past. Pause before allowing fear to decide on your behalf. Not every feeling of uneasiness is a warning. Sometimes it is simply the response of a heart learning that peace is safe. Observe the fruit, consistency, and the way this person treats your boundaries. Wise discernment will help you distinguish a genuine signal requiring attention from fear born from memory. Every delay, redirection, and period of waiting contributed to bringing you into your present position. You are not late. You were not forgotten while everyone else found what they desired. Had certain things arrived earlier, you might have received them through emptiness and placed upon them a weight no relationship could carry. You once needed someone to prove your worth. Now you are learning that love is companionship, not a certificate of dignity. You once feared loneliness so much that you might have accepted what was unhealthy. Now you understand that walking slowly in peace is better than running quickly into an old cycle. Those years did not take away your opportunity. They gave you enough discernment to recognize the right one. The person being prepared to walk beside you has also passed through a difficult journey. They do not come from a life without trials. They had to learn patience when what they desired did not appear, strength when no one supported them, and understanding through their own experiences of being misunderstood. These things did not make them perfect, but they taught them that love requires more than emotion. They understand the value of presence, a sincere apology, and repair after conflict. They learned that no one can love steadily while continually running from responsibility or allowing the ego to become larger than the relationship. When your paths meet, the connection will not need to be preserved through manipulation or fear. You will still possess differences, experience weary days, and carry wounds requiring additional time to heal. Yet instead of using these things to push one another away, you will learn how to communicate clearly and offer mutual respect. This person will not come to complete everything missing within you, and you will not become the answer to all their needs. You will arrive as two individuals refined separately, prepared to place honesty, responsibility, and compassion into one shared work. I, Michael, want you to continue moving without chasing what is being prepared. Do not look at every new person and immediately assign them a role in your future. Allow time to reveal character, actions to confirm words, and peace to guide each step. You can open your heart without rushing, hope without losing discernment, and love without erasing yourself. What was broken within you is not your final destiny. You are being led out of fear to learn another way of loving without ambiguity, depletion, or the need to beg for basic things. When that meeting occurs, you will understand that both the waiting and the indirect roads helped prepare you for companionship steady, sincere, and mature enough not to collapse beneath the weight of difficult seasons